Welcome, guys. As you see, I got a new logo. Just something I put together real quick. Just going to improve every day. I appreciate you guys. There I am. Hopefully you guys like seeing me because I'm going to be here all season long. We're going to be doing some football updates real easy. I got plenty of time at work. The real job here is hard. No, it's not. Can you guys see me all right? Is that good? Boop, boop, boop. Wait, wipe that off. Pull a smile on your face. Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the Dynasty auction draft for Barrett Jackson. It just happened last night. So we're going to be doing some stuff. And then I'm going to be also doing final roster breakdowns while I'm doing this, just because the way that I have it set up here is going to be easy for me to do all of that. And so yeah. So, oh, wait, what? What's that? Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you looking at the video, watching the video. Stay tuned, stay updated for more updates on the leagues, the topics, things like this. You can see on the screen here, Dynasty Football Updates, 7 subscribers. Okay, hit that subscribe button, make a channel, or make an account. Watch the videos, because this will help you improve your fantasy games within our own leagues, and maybe not only that, but in your league as well. Okay, get some mindset tips and tricks here. So thank you guys. Back to the video. All right, here we're going to be starting with the roster. Let me get the window set up here. Clear. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that good on the screen. It looks good on my part. Or at least from what I see or what you see. It's kind of weird operating everything kind of two things at once. Okay. So let's just go start off. We're just going with the first team up top, which is general. And we're going to be doing, you can see right here, the names, the bye weeks, and the rankings. This is the player rankings. And then you have the winning bid. So anything that has a number over on the side meant that he got him through the auction draft. Okay. And after you win an auction draft, you have the ability to set 2 different years, which is a 3 or 5 year contract with that player. And then he's up for renegotiations based upon his average points the last 3 years, and that is going to set him in a tier of how much he is worth. Okay, and free agents that you pick up throughout the year fall under that regardless. So they're going to fall under it. So even if he is a rookie, it's going to count for only the 1 year because that's his average. But if he's, that's why, like, other guys and, some guys you would like, oh, well, why didn't the guy on St. Brown keep him? Well, because it would have cost an arm and a leg, but it was probably a discount compared to the price you got. Anyways, let's get into it. You got Joe Burrow and Jared Goff here. Joe Burrow, stud, and Jared Goff, dud. No, I think he'll be a serviceable guy, and I actually like the Lions defense. I think it's going on the plus side versus the minus side. Okay, and 500,000, you can cut him, move him, it's fine. Okay, and you got Justin Herbert, stud. Even I like him better than Burrow, but man, I mean, they're like neck and neck, though. They're right on top of each other. If I had to, kind of like, I like Herbert just a little better, but I mean, Joe Burrow's no slouch either. So matchups, things like this, you can play. Probably the best quarterback duo that I've seen, but I'm not really ranking them because I'm not trying to look at all your rosters and go, whoa, this is better than this. Like, that's just too argumentative there. Okay. And then you got running backs here, Tyler, I don't know, Algier. Okay, he potentially could be the starting running back in the future. I'm not really sure about right now. He's been kind of quiet from what I haven't heard anything about him in preseason. So, Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris. Like, I don't know how to pronounce these guys here. Mark Ingram. Now you can see that he paid for Mark Ingram $2.6 million. That's fine. And he needed him. He's got Alvin Kamara, so you got the 1-2 punch in case one of these guys goes down. Then you got Brian Robinson, which is a good running back. He should be starting over there. You got Benny Pitt. Then you got Jalen Warren, and you got Rashad White. Okay, you can see he the Homer guy here. He's a Pittsburgh fan. Definitely getting the two Pittsburgh's running backs there, but they're handcuffs to his guy anyways. So, and I know Grant is a big, huge fan of handcuffs. Okay. Moving on down to the wide receivers, you can see the rankings here. They're all good. Devontae Adams. These aren't wide. This is like overall ranking, not just like, running backs, wide receivers. No, this is all of them here. Okay, all the players, quarterbacks, all of them. Okay, Devontae Adams, A.J. Brown, Paris Campbell, Corey Davis. I don't like that Corey Davis number, but man, I could just be wrong about Corey Davis, but I felt like when he was in Tennessee, he really didn't do much, but they were also a run team, and I'm not really sure where the Jets fall because that's what they do. Okay. Cooper Kupp, I mean, come on now. I was watching a video the other night. It was, I think this guy, Destroy E or something, and Matthew Stafford, he was like, hey, who do you pick? Cooper Kupp or, Calvin Johnson and Megatron? And he's like, well, they both like won, all had their best seasons and great, Triple Crown or whatever. I'm not really sure. I know Cooper Kupp did, but I think Calvin Johnson did. I'm pretty sure, but I don't want to quote anything wrong. But, the guy was like, well, you're the only common denominator. And he's like, hey, man, you said it, I said it. It was kind of funny. So, yeah, Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf. I picked DK Metcalf, man. I like DK Metcalf, but I was smelling that Russell Wilson was about to leave, man. Mid-season, I'm like, man, I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be there. And I was like, let me shift to some Denver wide receivers. You can see I traded away in the other league Tyreek Hill for Jerry Jeudy. There were some other things involved, but but I was targeting Jerry Jeudy, getting younger. And I was like, and I got Cortland Sutherland in my other league, or in this league, on the downswing, hoping that they would get a quarterback. And guess what? Yep, Russell Wilson got plucked away. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, their value's gone down. But if they ever get a quarterback in there next year, someone who could throw the ball to these guys, yep, they're going to be good players for you anyways. So you got George Pickens here, stud. Okay, Calvin Ridley, he paid for him. This year, $1 million, no investment. You can drop him. I feel like that if I was Atlanta, man, you're almost kind of building your roster without him. Or you got your new Julio Jones and Drake, and then Calvin Ridley is still the second fiddle. But he's a good second fiddle, I'll tell you that. But we'll see what happens in the future. It's a good pick to do because it didn't cost you anything really. Roster spot. Pat Freiermuth, good tight end, looked good. Travis Kelce. I mean, what more to say? You got Mahomes. Okay. Dynasty League might be a little older. You could fall into the potential trap that Kelce leaves, and you almost don't want to get stuck with a player retiring unless you like buy him knowing that. But I really don't want to be keeping a guy on my team that I know that's going to retire. But when you're typically, you kind of see a fall off. Like look at Gronk, right? The last few years, retired, not retired, this or that, and he was still putting up good, solid numbers. So, I mean, it's hard to do. And tight ends, you could be a little older and be fine. Then, like running backs, you don't see a lot of wide receivers out there, the older ones. So, and I know he's not a wide receiver, but just looking at like the age of wide receivers has gotten younger. I think the talent level is there's just more talent to choose from, and you got more scout, more tape. You're finding really good prospects that are just slightly better than an old veteran. But we'll see how the other veterans do, and I'll talk about a few today. Okay. Evan McPherson, $4.5 million. And then you got the two defenses here. Kind of cheap on the defenses. Cheap as in good defenses, but for relatively inexpensive compared to a few of the other defenses that we have on the roster. So let's move on to the next team here, which is going to be Horizon. Here we got Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota, Malik Willis, and Russell Wilson. So he's got two good quarterbacks, and a guy for the future and a potential comeback guy. So Marcus, that might be like I always feel like these rosters here, the Barrett Jackson, will always have like a roster spots that you're willing to just dump for this guy, right? You probably got to have maybe 3 spots, I would like to say, rotating, or 2. Marcus could be a rotating spot. There's only one starting running or quarterback in this league, and I feel like all the teams already have decent quarterbacks, so the value might not be there, but you do got a bye week, Malik. I mean, no, I think you'll be fine. Okay. Cam Akers, Devonta Bell, want to drop him, but he probably costs too much. But he's costing you more than what it would be if you dropped him. Okay. So you decide the and a roster spot. Okay. Drake, I brought him up. I was like, this guy, and then you bid on him, and no one else bid. And I didn't care. I didn't want him. It was more of a bait guy than anything. Get him on your roster. You put him on there for a few years, whatever. Get you out, get you stop bidding on the guys that I want, because you're filling up your roster and your team up a little faster. Okay, Kenneth Gainwell, Herbert here, backup Dearness Johnson. If Hunt ever happens, he's the next man up. He's already proven that he can carry handle a load. It's just not like a Nick Chubb load, but he can handle a Kareem Hunt load. Kareem Hunt load's pretty good too, though. Backup here. McKinnon, that would have been a backup a few years ago, but McKinnon, he picked him up cheap to plug and play guys. Even if you're not even playing them, they're just roster spots. Injuries happen. Maybe you just fit well within this offensive scheme a little better. So you got David Montgomery. So you got some guys that could be Akers, Allaire, Kenneth Gainwell. Sanders can't stay healthy, so you got that. Montgomery, Pierce Strong, the rookie out of New England. That's just something you got to take a stab in the dark. Mike Evans here. You got Zay Jones going over to Jacksonville. 500,000. Needed some help in wide receiver. Just some extra depth. Allen Robinson. I'll talk more about Allen Robinson later when I get to someone else that I feel like I want to talk about more. I just don't want to do that comparison now. Kadarius Toney, Mike Williams, solid, but still second fiddle. Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert. Those are your tight ends. Taysom Hill. I don't know what position that guy is playing. So Blankenship, $3 million. Indy. Let's hope they score a lot of points, or they fail at scoring a lot of points, so you kick field goals, right? And the Eagles defense, which I think could be a sleeper defense this year. That's a solid price for defense there. Okay. Next on, we got the caddy. Tom Brady, paid $5.1 million for Tom Brady. You really didn't need a quarterback that much, but if anything happens to Patty, you're stuck. So it was probably worth the investment because you needed that nice high second tier if one of these quarterbacks ever go down. And, so you keep him for 3 years, and then he retires, and it doesn't cost you anything to drop him. Jimmy Garoppolo, if he goes somewhere, great, he could pan out, but this is not a quarterback needy league, in my opinion. I think most people have decent, solid quarterbacks. You got Snoop, the old double N, Snoop Connor. And then you got Tyrion Price, Davis Price, AJ Dillon. You could start AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones together. I think in this offense now, this year, it very well could be much better having both of them than not. But Aaron Jones is still the man there. And then you got Joe Mixon, which is upgraded line. He's has all the carries. I mean, there's no one really there. You got his back up there too, Pernier. You're fine. Okay, you got Nico Collins next up. I like Nico. He looks good. Let's see if Sims can throw him the ball. Or Mims, right? Daniel Mims. David Mims, whatever his name is. I'll get to him. And Jarvis Landry. Okay, I don't know. He said that he thought he overpaid it at this, and I was like, no, I think that's about right. I probably would have been at max at $7 million, max at 7. But 4.2 is actually, I think, a good bargain for a player like this. And you're going to see why in the future once I talk about some guys. And Jarvis Landry, he's no slouch. I mean, you got to think he was there with OJ and Baker. And I really think it was more like the play calling than it was like the Browns aura of like shining, So, but I like him in New Orleans a lot better than I do when he went over to Cleveland. Okay, Isaiah McKenzie. I'm not sure where he's gonna fit because that rookie wide receivers, might be outplaying him. Isaiah, I've seen more as like a fourth or third, but he's not making the third right now. Not that I'm aware of. What is there anything? Is a heavy favorite? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. What does this say? To start in the slot. Heavy favorite to start the slot. Okay. Okay, so he's a heavy favorite to start the slot. That's nice. That's good to know. Very nice. Okay. Darnell Mooney. This is the other guy I want to talk about, Allen Robinson. And the reason why is because Allen Robinson went to Chicago, got paid lots of money, and really didn't do much there. Darnell Mooney shows up, and he does something there. Is it Mooney, or is it Robinson? Is it the play calling? I'm not really sure, but Allen Robinson, he's got Cooper Kupp there, man. He's not going to be the number one. He's going to be the second option, but third option, I would say, because you got Akers. Don't get me wrong, Allen Robinson is going to be good. But why he didn't do anything in Chicago? Okay, Darnell Mooney has done something in Chicago. Okay. KJ Osborne, he plays third wide for what is going to be a more pass-heavy offense than it was run-heavy last year. So we'll see. Devontae Parker. This is almost the surprise pick of the surprise, um, you know, price for this guy. Okay, Uh, you're like, oh, I overpaid for Jarvis Landry. I don't know, man. Not a 5.5 for Devontae Parker. I mean, the guy dropped him and he was 900,000. You could have traded for him last year at 900,000. I'm not now. I'm not blaming you because you just bid on it, bro. I'm not saying that you, but like if you were on his talent, you just didn't know he wasn't. He was going in Miami still. Didn't know he. I mean, I guess he had a really good camp. You don't know these things, but it cost you about 4.3 million or 2 million or whatever. 4.4. Okay, 4.6. Sorry. Okay. Hunter Renfrow, 980 or 9,800,000 for him. I mean, I think he was one of the better wide receivers in the free agency, and yeah, I mean, he should be getting the ball. He's not the number one, not the number two, but he is a PPR kind of reception, and Josh McDaniels going over there. He's now the new Wes Welker. Julian Edelman, Pickett. Not Pickett, just Pickett. Pick which one he is. Okay. Juju. I don't know how well he's going to do over there. I hope he does well, but I don't know. We'll see. And then we got Montreal Washington. Rookie Denver, I don't know too much about him, but going to Denver, you got a guy who just tore his ACL, so you could be fourth or fifth. If you break out, Russell Wilson sees a little spark in you. You know what? You could be up there, but it's going to be hard to compete in the first three. Okay. Yeah, throwaway tight end. Possibly. You got two throwaway tight ends here. I'm not saying throwaway, right? These are strategic picks that he picked up that you're okay with dropping if you have to, okay? But if you could just hold on to these guys, Logan Thomas out of Washington is going to be leaving. Who's the next man up? Well, this guy has 2-3 years experience at that time. Plug him in. He's the next man up, right? Unless they go high-profile draft or it's free agency, this is kind of the rotation. So having these guys who you can take and just leave on the bench for a year or two, maybe you've seen their tape and you're like, hey, I kind of like the way that body of work is, But you got the Charlie Kolar. Might be a little... might be highly... I don't think it's very likely that you pick the right Baltimore tight end. Okay. So, I just don't think so. But if you know what I'm talking about, you're cool. And if not, I don't know. It's not very likely that you're going to get it. Okay. No. Okay. And then you got Albert O. That's fine. They did have draft a better tight end recently. And did draft a better tight end recently, but it looks like he's getting the reps, okay? And then you got, let's just go down here. You got Darren Waller, stud. Tyler Bass, that's fine. They should score a lot of points. And, kick the ball. This is the only thing with the like the outdoor in the winter snow teams is when it comes playoff times, your kickers might not be as good. Or, the chances, because it's snowing out, all of a sudden he can't kick that 50-yard field goal it's more like 40 or whatever the range is, right? This is an example. Okay, 49ers D, then you got the Tennessee Titans defense. He paid for about 3.5. That's about the going rate for defenses, 3 to 4. I kind of like, I didn't have the money to play with, but I feel like if you're going to get a defense, you should probably make sure that they can't just drop and just like plug and play and move guys around. Make it worth a few $1,000,000, okay? So, next up on the list, we got Buick here. Buick bought 2 dudes. We'll go through there, but we're going to do the roster. Matt Corral broke his, he's out for the season. Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, those are good quarterbacks there. Pick one. It's going to be hard to pick which one you like more. It depends on your wide receivers. Do you have any matchups or anything like this? Or any wide receiver, quarterback duos, Darnell Henderson, backup, Nyheim Hines, backup, PPR. These guys are going to get some touches. Ramon Stevenson, running back by committee, but he will get touches. And Damon Harris, I don't know if they picked up his last year option or not, but Damon Harris could be out and he could be in. So potential starting running back in the future, but he should be getting I would say about 200 points, which it's not 300, but 200 points is still a pretty decent output for backup. Okay. And then you got Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he's pretty consensus the number one, and there's a reason why there's a number one right there. You can see it right there, number one. Okay. Yeah, you're kind of weak at running backs. I would actually look at trading depth for another running back or some picks for running backs because, or trade Taylor for a few good running backs. Okay. Coming on down, you got Brandon Ayuk, Robbie Anderson, David Bell, which I do like, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Jefferson, John Mechie, Van Jefferson, Chris Olave, Alec Pierce. I mean, he's got some rookie wide receivers that he picked up here. He could tell he didn't. He went with offensive rookies or offensive wide receivers versus no running backs in his draft. Okay, and then you got MVS, Marquez, Vandeline, Scatling, and then you got Christian Watson, which he's been played almost second fiddle to Dobbs. But I don't think he's been on the field either. And both of them, I mean, Dobbs looks good, and there's a reason why I picked him higher is because his talent level was there. So we'll see how that works out. Zach Ertz, old reliable, playing there. Yep, you got the Zach Ertz, Kyler Murray, which I like the tight end thing. You got the Kyle Pitts, which is a stud, and then you got Jelani Walker going to Indy, which that very well could pan out there for them. Okay, and then you got Mason Crosby, Sadie York, defense. Okay, Kansas City and Colts defense. Got them on the cheaper side, but you could probably do something with that Kansas City defense if it's not performing well. The Colts defense, we'll see. I mean, the only thing I'm worried about with the Kansas City defense is if the offense doesn't, let's just say it loses just a step, it's still going to be very potent. But I feel like it could be more creative because they got more weapons than just the one weapon. So it's almost like the trade that I thought about with Jonathan Taylor. You take one really awesome dude, and then now all of a sudden you spread that out between a few of them, and you're all of a sudden a way better team because you got a lot more different weapons than just that one trick pony. Okay. If you guys play Madden, you ever run into that guy that does like one play over and over and over again? Well, once you take that play out, he's nothing. So it's pretty simple. Okay, Buick, done. Trans Am. All right, you got Dak Prescott, Zach Wilson. You got some time to see how long that is. There's plenty of quarterbacks out there, but that's fine. You got possibly a backup if Cook ever happens and the other guy leaves, but he is the next man up. So as long as Cooks is there, it's almost like Cook is going to stay there. We don't really need to sign this guy because we got this rookie here. So it's just they just keep rotating guys underneath the starter, and then sometimes that other guy will go away based upon the guys that you pick here. But it's how much do they really spend like the draft capital on these guys. So Chase Edmonds over at Miami, that's going to be a running back by committee. I think there's like 4 guys there. Travis Etienne, Marlon Mack, J.D. McKissick, James Robinson, Devin Singletary, and Darrell Williams. I mean, you have solid running backs, and then you have guys that are going to make points, okay? Devin Singletary might, project to be sorry, but Cooks could just overtake him easy. Okay, so and Moss has had a pretty solid preseason, off season, so that could also come back to get in there, take some carries away. But these guys are going to produce some points. I think regardless, they're not. They're not going to put up really zeros. They might put up a 4, but they also could put up a 15. With the right offense and with the right timing. And that Buffalo game, man, he could get 3 touchdowns in a game. 5 catches. Come on now. To be real, Marquise Brown, Danny Gray. Don't know too much about Gray, but, he's in a run-happy offense. They got some studs, so we'll see. I mean, it's a roster spot in a rookie, so you got to just take a shot at these rookies when you don't know who to pick. You kind of have your guys that you like, play styles that you like, or you just kind of like picking whatever the top is. Okay, Christian Kirk, Drake London, Rondell Moore, Sky Moore, Kyle Phillips, Sterling Shepard, and Adam Thielen. I like Adam Thielen. I mean, you got some solid plug-in guys, but no real alpha here. I mean, I guess Marquise Brown could be the alpha, but he's even the alpha on his team once Hopkins comes back. Consensus might be no. Maybe Hopkins lost a step. I'm not really sure, but then you got other Drake London. He might be the alpha. He could be the alpha. We'll see. We'll see how that looks. Okay. Adam Thielen. Greg Dulcich. Yep, that's the other guy. You got Albert O there. And, he's been around for, 3 years? And then you got this guy coming in. So, if Albert O, this is like, yay, man, this is your time to shine. Or we got the next guy that's going to replace you when it comes to signing you. Okay. You go somewhere else. Tyler Higbee should get some points. And Sadie Otten. Okay. Tampa Bay tight end. They needed a tight end. It's a rookie. Harrison Butker. Yep. Kicker, $4 million almost. Commanders, Washington, Houston defense, $500,000. Okay. Pretty good. I'm not trying to rank your teams. I'm just talking about the players individually. Okay. Because the thought on the player is still the same, regardless of what team he's on, whether it's my team or your team. It's just thought of the guy. You want to start putting this together. Like I'd rather not talk about why one team is best or this or that. Like I'll talk about matchups, but to rate all these teams, man, that's a lot of work and a lot of time and effort, man. Like, no, we'll see the results of the draft. Okay, we'll see the results of the scores. And go from there. Daniel Jones, Mac Jones. You got the Jones brothers there. No bye week problem. And you got Aaron Rodgers. Yep. That's fine. You got a old veteran who's going to score some points. You got the new guy, and then you got a plug-in. Okay. Damon Harris, Josh Jacobs. Look at this rookie coming at $5 million. It's because he has the Kansas City Chiefs name behind him. Okay. Dallas, or Tony Pollard, Zamir White, Javonte Williams. Okay. Yeah. You got 3 good guys, and then you got a couple plug-in guys. I think you're fine. All right. Then we're gonna move on to Rashad Bateman, or Calvin Austin the third. We all know who the wide receiver there is. Pickens. Okay. Rashad Bateman, Brian Edwards, Chris Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, Alan Lazard. You're loaded, man. Tyler Lockett and Michael Pittman. Yeah, you're pretty loaded, dude. You got a lot of talent here. Man, if I were you, yep. If I were you, I would look at trying to trade these 2 pieces. I would try to trade 2 of these really good guys. Yep. For like a stud, dude. Like straight stud. Okay. I mean, you got CeeDee Lamb, but like if you paired like a Tyler Lockett and a Pittman, let's just say like a second rounder for like a Justin Jefferson, go after one of these top tier guys. I mean, get the dude that can score 30 or 40 points. I don't see a lot of these guys scoring 30 or 40 points in a game. Okay, I mean, they very could, but yeah, just might not happen. Okay. Star power. Overall solid though. Then you got a very, 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 very good depth, dude. I'm not trying to doubt your team. Look at this. 55, 90, 27, 64. Like you're definitely hot right here. Woo wee. And then you're solid, dude. Solid team. Mike Gesicki, Hunter Henry, Irv Smith. Yep, you can see you bought these guys. Chris Boswell, Browns defense and Patriots defense. Okay. Yep, cheap on the Browns defense too. They should get some sacks. With those D linemen, Clowney and Garrett. Okay. So beep beep, you're doing solid. Okay, RT. This guy spent some money. Cash money. Okay. We got Trevor Lawrence. How's Trevor Lawrence like ranked 100 spots below Tua? What? Oh my lord. Jameis Winston, you needed a quarterback. You had a bye week problem. I liked Winston, man. I feel like, he could just slang the ball. Like, he's just out there slanging it, So, that's fine. Okay. Michael Carter, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards. You got the backup. Ezekiel Elliott. Yep. Oh, yes. The highest paid guy in the draft, in the auction draft. Ezekiel Elliott got paid. Okay. Let's see if he does anything. He got paid last year in real life, and he didn't do much. So, we'll see this year. Okay. They got him ranked 14, but, man, we'll see. I know they're saying it's all Ezekiel Elliott this year, but I don't know. Bryce Hall, Cordell Patterson, yep. Damon Pierce. I like it. I like him. Cordell Patterson, you paid premium for another running back, but that's fine. If you need running backs, man, you got to pay for him. You had money. It's okay. This is when it comes time to try to drop one of these guys off here or there, because your roster spot, you have more draft picks coming up next year. You just need to dump some players. It's going to be hard to dump Patterson. Okay. Or, these are high-priced players. Okay. Treylon Burks, Quintez Syphilis, Chark, DJ Chark, Gabriel Davis, Jahan Dotson, Terrence Marshall. You got the Carolina guys. DJ Moore, Josh Palmer, and Jameson Williams. You picked up some good. When I look at your rookies this year, your rookies here are nice. I think you hit on all the rookies here. Jameson Williams, Jahan Dotson, a good second pairing over there in Washington. Then you got Treylon Burks and Damon Pierce and Bryce Hall. Yeah, those. Yep. I feel like outside of Zeke Elliott, in the next year or two, if he turns good, Gabriel comes in and takes that. I don't know where Diggs is at. I'm not saying his production's still going up, but like sometimes that other guy just creeps up a little more. But I'm not saying that Davis will do that. But they could make other moves. Davis, or once Diggs gets a year or two from now, 3 years. Yep. Okay. Jahan Dotson. I like these guys. Robert Woods, another guy. Yep. But paid for that. I really don't see them running or passing the ball often. Robert Woods, I mean, he was with the Rams, and he did good, but he goes to a really run-heavy defense or offense now, so we'll see. Noah Fant, David Njoku, and that's it. So, yep, paid for some. Yep, you had to buy these guys. Got a kicker and 2 defenses. Look at that. Yep, about 3.9 million, roughly about where that I feel like the defenses should be at. You could pay a little bit more, pay a little bit less for better or worse, but I mean he got 2 of the better defenses for that much. So, yeah, that's a good draft. Good overall. He hit a lot of spots he needed to, hit, and I think he did fine. Solid team, should be in semi-contention this year. Here, this is the worst team in the league here. This is my team. I do what I can, but I just try to, I'm not trying to, I think I have a pretty solid team, but I'm not trying to judge here. Okay, Lamar Jackson, Trey Lance, Carson Wentz. Okay, Carson Wentz is a little bit expensive for me when I got him, but he was a plug guy. When he was going to Indy, he's still a starting quarterback. And at that time, Trey Lance was unknown. And so Lamar Jackson is for trade if someone is looking for it. Because I think I might go with the Lancey here. But I'm okay with stick with Lamar too. Eno Benjamin, I just needed some running backs that I feel like are going to get some catches, some carries, some touches throughout the game. Because I'm hurting about running back, man. Yikes. Okay. Leonard Fournette. Myles Garrett, Elijah Mitchell, Zach Moss, and Boston Scott. Keyshawn Vaughn. Okay, I bought these guys. You see, I didn't spend much money on them, but they are what they are. Myles Garrett, I'm most excited for out of these guys because I feel like he could probably get you 8 touches, 30 yards, 3 or 4 catches for another 30 yards. Right, so that's what, 3, 6, 9, 12 points. And I'm not saying that's great, 12 points, but when I got to plug him in, man, I'm not expecting a lot of points, man. I just want you to score 10 to 12 points for me, if you're not like a regular rotation guy. So you score a touchdown, all of a sudden it's 20. I'm like, whoa, yeah, But I feel like they're going to get some Miami guys in there. We'll see how Elijah does. Zach Moss had a good offseason and camp along with preseason. And Boston Scott, if the other guys can't stay healthy, then, he'll do something. Chase Claypool, no denying, I like the way he looks on tape. But I feel like he's definitely in the third with Pickens there. He's been playing in the slot, but that also creates matchups. I was looking at I forgot who it was. Someone brought up his route running tree last year, and he did the best in the slot. Okay, he dominated in the slot actually with the numbers. He was beating man, he was beating press, running all the route trees. You ever seen it looks like a controller, right? And then it's like he done this route and this route, this route, this route, this route, and he's like 87 here, 97 here, win rate versus these zones of man. Like he was just all green and no red. Okay. So that just caught my eye too. And I seen that this off season. But I'm trying to talk upside about Chase Claypool. Still a big dude. Terry, scary. What else more can I say? Jacoby Myers, sleeper wide receiver here on Shakir. Could be, a third. Easy. Okay. Devontae Smith, Cortland Sutton, and Michael Thomas. Okay. Devontae Smith, didn't he win the Heisman? Something like that? Wide receiver of the year or something? I don't know. I thought he won some type of thing. Look good. Then they get another wide receiver coming in, so we'll see if that takes a little pressure off him. Draws pressure over there. That way he's always open. Cortland Sutton, Russell Wilson's go-to target in the preseason or in camp. He's trusting him very well. And then you got Michael Thomas, who could potentially be back to, if he ever gets on the field, potentially, hopefully, a top wide receiver again. We'll see. Tyquan Thornton injured. Jalen Tolbert. He looked good, very fast. But I think he broke his collarbone, so we'll see if he recovers. Jalen Tolbert should be starting for Dallas. Mark Andrews, Hayden Hurst, Dawson Knotts, and Ryan Tunyon. Yes, I bought 2 tight ends because I feel like these guys are good. Good tight ends for the price, and it allows me, if I hit outside of Dawson Knotts, I could potentially trade Mark Andrews in the future. If I ever trade Lamar, maybe a package, I would probably do them 2 for, let's just go 4 number 1s, and you can have the pair. Okay. I know that's a lot, but you're getting 2, almost one of the best, tight ends in the league. Okay. You could say, oh, well, Kyle Pitts is better. He might be, Darren Waller is better. Sure, but are they the actual number 1 guy on their team? No, you can't tell me that. Mark Andrews is the clear number 1 on his offense. Okay. Darren Waller's number 2. Kyle Pitts probably number 2 behind Drake London now. Okay. And last year he was behind the other guy if he would have been there. So let's just go down. Justin Tucker, Buffalo Bills defense. Yep, I'm the homer guy, but it's Bills defense right now. Come on now. Doing good. Moving on down, we have Pantera. We got Kirk Cousins, Devin Rizzer, Ryan Tannehill. Okay, Matt Breida. You really don't have a guy for the future. You're just kind of getting by right now. You're just getting by. Okay. Don't get me wrong, Kirk Cousins is serviceable and Ryan Tannehill, but there are better. Kirk Cousins is going in a more passer happy offense, so that should improve his numbers. But there's guys that have better backups than your starters, but that is all subject to opinion as well. Okay. Matt Breida, I was surprised that he came up that much, but he is the backup to a guy that gets injured a lot or has problems staying healthy. Okay. Mike Davis. Okay. Hussein Haskins, potentially back up to the guy, your boy over there, Henry, in Tennessee. Ronald Jones, bubble. He's on the bubble. Christian McCaffrey, this team might fall in the same category as Jonathan Taylor. Okay, you got one stud running back, but you got no one else to pair with. Okay, turn this one stud into 2 guys that are going to produce year in, year out. Okay. Then you got running backs Karen Williams. Okay. Keenan Allen, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Boyd, Kalen Cole, Julio Jones, which paid for $4.9 million. I think that was roughly about right. John Ross, roster bubble. I don't know if he's going to cost you, or roster bubble. He's a free agent. I don't know if he's going to cost you more if you drop him than a roster spot, but you know, you run your team how you do. Okay. Curtis Samuel, I feel like he's on the way out. Deebo Samuel's stud. Amon St. Brown, look at this, $9 million. If you had him last year, you probably should have just kept him. I'm pretty sure he wasn't $9 million. I think it was $7 million. Even if he was, you had him on your spot. But and they, even though they got this guy, they still went out and drafted Jameis Williams. Okay, so it kind of scares me when if you have your number one, you don't go look for another number one. You're gonna really only pay one guy, but you know, I'd like to see that. Okay, Taylor Wallace. This is a shot in the dark guy to have. Maybe he was a rookie last year. You had him. Garrett Wilson. Yep. Jets scare me. Talk about this roster. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. TJ Hawkinson, Austin Hooper, and Trey McBride. Trey McBride, the rookie, going to Arizona. Ertz has a few years. He's going to learn from Ertz, and then he's going to come out in about a year or two and be fine. So we'll see how that goes. So you got one starter. You have the veteran backup, and then you have the rookie bench guy that you're waiting to groom, right? Don't want to use that word too often. You're waiting for him to develop, okay? I like this type of setup, but you do have a bye week issue, so you do have to start a rookie backup tight end week 6 unless you fix it, okay? Graham Gano and the Packers defense. Yep, you're gonna end up probably dropping someone up here that you have that you can do some work here, okay? 68 Camaro, right? Bought some players. He bought his entire team this draft. So we'll see rebuild mode or what, right? Justin Fields and Matt Ryan, Mitch Trubisky, and Deshaun Watson. You can see the bye weeks there. So Watson will be back by the time that Fields and Ryan, his first game back, will be that week. Or no, it's week 13 it is. Yep. So it'll be a second game back if you go that route. Justin Fields, let's just talk about him for a little bit. I like Justin Fields, but when I look at the semi-production and I look at who he had in college, just go back and just look at who he had in college. Okay, just look who he's thrown to, and I want to say that some of that potentially could be his production is because he's thrown to those guys, which, if you don't know, they're just really good. There's like all of them are good. Okay, do the research yourself though. I'm not gonna click off this page. Okay, James Conner bought $9.2 million. You gotta buy these wide receivers or these running backs if you need them. Okay, Melvin Gordon, $6.9 million, and then he put him on the trade block right away. You think you're gonna buy draft picks? You're gonna overpay for a backup running back, and then immediately put him on the waiver wire because you're trying to get rid of him now because you're just using draft cap or your cap space for draft capital. Sorry, I'm not taking that bait. You can keep him. What, 3 years? Yeah, go for it. Melvin Gordon, almost $7 million, 3 years. Have fun with that. Derrick Henry. What more can I say? Sony Michel. Potential could be getting some backs, some touches there in Miami. I don't see why you wouldn't. You got another Miami running back here, and Jared Patterson, shot in the dark rookie, maybe last year, a couple years ago, maybe he was back up, but he's being outperformed by this Brian Robinson. Okay, Jr. Odell Beckham. This is a good pickup. I mean, $2 million. You could drop him if you need to. He's not. It's just a roster spot, but he's going to command targets wherever he goes, and we'll see where he goes. Okay, Kendrick Bourne. Nice big body guy. I liked him at the 49ers, but they don't pass. Marquez. Callaway. He's getting passed by talent on that depth chart. Amari Cooper, good. Stephon Diggs, good. And I like to see AJ Green here, but I don't know. I just always like anyone else than older veterans. Okay. Marvin Jones, Cameron Brate, Gerald Everett, OJ Howard. Okay. Yep, you bought all those guys there. That's fine. I mean, Marvin Jones, he's not paid like the number one, but he should see the ball. Okay. Got tired. Nick Foles, Dustin Hopkins, and Will Lutz there. And then you got the Tampa Bay defense and the Cowboys defense. Okay. Paying right about that 3-point-something million for defense. Okay. Almost done. Here we got BMW. Okay. Build my way. No. BMW. I don't know why that doesn't have why that has a 3 in one of the in front of that. That should not be there. That should just be a 1. A 1. My opinion is he's the best fantasy league player out there. He runs better than Mahomes, but he can throw like Mahomes. Not saying that Mahomes is bad. Mahomes just has a little bit more success, but I think that's going to change soon. I think it's going to change. Baker Mayfield won the starting job. Really? Did you guys doubt Baker Mayfield beating Sam Darnold? I mean, he beat him out for the number 1, number 2 pick, and now he beat him out after they both failed on their original teams. Okay. Baker Mayfield. Get it right. Pickett, Geno Smith. I think he picked this Geno Smith here because he was like, well, I need a player that no one else is going to bid on so I can leave this draft because that was his lowest draft, and I think I remember seeing that. He's like, yeah, that's my I'm out pick. Okay. So, get a little drink of water here. All right. Saquon Barkley, Chuba Hubbard, Rashid Penny, Larry Roundtree, Trey Sermon, DeAndre Swift, Kenneth Walker III, and Jamal Williams in running back Detroit. Good running backs here. Saquon, DeAndre, and then this guy potentially in the future, along with Chuba Hubbard, who, obviously when McCaffrey goes down, you got him plugging in. Trey Sermon, I heard possibly roster bubble. I don't know, man. I mean, they just drafted him, and then all of a sudden, what is it saying? Bottle up for the second straight game. Rushed for 5 times and 8 yards and caught 1 or 2 balls. Okay. All right. right, and then you got Jamar Chase, Jameson Crowder, Romeo Doubts. Don't doubt this guy, dude. Don't doubt this guy. Okay, 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a little thick boy. He can play. Doubts plagued by drops. What? Get out of here. I want to click on that so I can just do that. Yep, there we go. Okay. Kenny Galladay, T. Higgins. So you got Jamar and T. You can start both of them. I'd look at trading him for number 1 in another team. Okay, but you do you, bro. Elijah Moore, Donald Peoples-Jones, Rondale Robinson. You got George Kittle and Cole Kmet. Okay. Yeah, solid team. You got some good depth. I mean, you got Josh Allen, and you got some good defenses. You should have paid more for these. Come on, guys. What? How could you let these guys go for $2 million and the other guys go for like 3 something? Where you at? Highway robbery here. And last but not least, Thunderbird. Okay. You got Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, and Davis Mills. I like these guys. Jordan Love, he threw some good balls, you know, in preseason. But then some of the balls, you go, man, you had a clean pocket. How's that not a spiral, bro? You know, throw. Nick Chubb, James Cook, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, and Kareem Hunt, Keontae Ingram, Miles Sanders, and then Isaiah Spiller, Abram Smith. So you got some running backs here. I mean, you got a pretty nice set of running backs. You got some plug-and-play guys. You got guys that can get touches. Yeah, good running backs here. Braden Cooks, $7.7 million. I felt like that was a little high. I mean, if you look at Jarvis Leonard or Braden Cooks, like I feel like they're closely the same. But I would put Braden Cooks a little better, but I want to put him at $3 million better. So good job in that Jarvis Landry pick, because you're lucky it wasn't up here. See, this guy's not even going to start the season, and has been a third draft pick overall, or a third wide receiver in the league at $4 million. Okay. Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Deontay Johnson. I mean, your wide receivers are good, but you're starting who you're starting, and you're not really playing a matchup game. Okay, you're just starting these guys every week, and that's it. Okay. Jalen Waddle, Anthony Schwartz, and Chenault. Yep. I mean, you're just starting these. You got two guys here. I mean, trade a Tyreek Hill for T. Higgins, bro. I feel like that's a fair trade. I'd keep Waddle over Hill, but Hill is going to score some points. But Waddle for T. Higgins and a 3rd round draft pick. So I would go Tyreek Hill for T. Higgins and a 3rd round draft pick. I feel like that would be outside of cap space. I would look at that trade. I would. Okay. Bellinger. I mean, if he's in New England, or if he's in the Giants and he's a tight end there, and he's gonna be the tight end there. Yep. Once they get a ball slinger there, yep, they're gonna be fun. Okay. Dalton Schultz, Logan Thomas. And then you got the one kicker and one defense in Daniel Carlson for the Rams, and then you got Arizona defense in to round that out. So yeah, well, that is it, guys. We're gonna go here as I finish this up here, because I'm gonna just sit back. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for all your support. Like, share, subscribe, and look forward to more fantasy updates as we move forward. Thanks, guys. All right, bye.